Good morning, everyone. Om Gan Ganpati Namo Namaha. Sri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namaha. Asta Vinayak Namo Namaha. Ganpati Bappa Moria. गणनायकाय गणदेवताय गणाधीशाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणशालाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय वाणीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय वाणीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि. Thank you.
Thank you, Swasini, for your beautiful note. Now, inviting on stage, may I now have the honors of inviting our eminent and distinguished guests and members, our NSHM leadership team on stage for the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony. Mr. Arnold Roy, CEO and Founder Director, NSHM Knowledge Campus. May I call upon our guest of honor, Mr. Ramakrishna Jaiswal, Honorable Consul Republic of Maldives, Kolkata. Our special guest, Dr. Vivas Chandra Jha, Professor, Department of Geography, Vishwa Bharati University. Our special guest, Dr. Sharda Ghosh, Principal, IHM Bhubaneswar. Our special guest, Dr. Nitin Sankar Nagrale, CEO, India and Emerging Markets, Quality NZ, New Zealand. Dr. Alok Satsani, Director, NSHM Group of Institutions, Durgapur, Director, Business School and School of Engineering, Durgapur. Dr. Milind, Principal, NSHM School of Hotel and Tourism Management, Durgapur and Kolkata, and Principal, NSHM Kolkata of Management and Technology, Durgapur. We believe in the main driving force behind this international conference. And Pongoli Madam, please, Principal of Nursing. We can start with this lamp lighting.
Thank you all dignitaries. Now I request all dignitaries to please come up on stage and take your seats kindly. I request all dignitaries to be on stage. Please take your seats. Hello, sir. Please take your seat on stage. Hello, sir. Sharda ma'am, please come up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start off with the felicitation. First, may I have the honor to request Mr. Arnav Roy, CEO and Founder Director, NSHM Group of Institution, to felicitate Honorable Consul General of Republic of Maldives, Mr. Ramakrishna Jaiswal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Alok Satsangi, Director NSHM Knowledge Campus, Durgapur, to felicitate Dr. Sharda Ghosh. I also request Dr. Satsangi to kindly felicitate Mr. Arnav Roy. Sir, please. Thank you, Alok, sir. Now, I request Dr. Milind, Principal, NSHM School of Hotel Management, Durgapur and Kolkata, to felicitate Dr. Nitin Nagara. I also request Dr. Milind to felicitate Dr. Vivash Chandra Jha. May I now request Dr. Milind to felicitate Dr. Alok Satsangi. Dr. Alok Satsangi, please. Finally, Dr. Satsangi, please can you felicitate Dr. Milind? Thank you, all dignitaries and guests on the dais. NSHM Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management is one of the pioneering institutes in tourism and hospitality education in the eastern part of India and has been offering graduate and postgraduate programs for the last 27 years with international quality standards and has emerged as a leading human resource provider in hospitality and tourism sector across the globe. Presently, NSHM campus conducts UG and PG programs affiliated to Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, Government of West Bengal, clubbed with International Air Transport Association and Global Distribution System. Along with the enormous support, guidance and association from Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, we also feel extremely honored to have eminent organizations like Steel Authority of India Limited, Confederation of Indian Industries, SAL International, ITC Fortune Hotel Pushpanjali, Indian Association of Tour Operators, Sula Vineyards and Raindrop Hotels as chief patrons for this edition of ITHC. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for the conference is contemporary issues, global trends, and sustainable development in tourism and hospitality. Tourism and hospitality is a powerful driver for sustainable development. They contribute to the education and empowerment of women and youth, advances the socio-economic and cultural development of communities. They play a critical part in the social protection systems that form the foundation of resilience and prosperity. Let us celebrate and form the future of tourism and hospitality that is sustainable, stronger, more inclusive, and empowering for the planet we live in and the people who rely on it. Because even though the potential for tourism and hospitality grows, the core has to be humanity. Thus, no matter how we navigate tourism and hospitality in the future, the end goal must be inclusivity for all people. With these words, I leave the floor to Dr. Milind for delivering the welcome address.
Thank you, Mr. Deepnath. I would like to start the welcome note with a very important sloka of Supraniti. Amantram aksharam nasti, nasti mula sodhanam, ayogyam purso nasti, yojagatas durlabam. There is no sound that is not a mantra. No plant that is a medicine. There is no person unworthy. What is lacking is an enabler. And we are here to make this conference as an enabler to all the young ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to welcome all delegates and participants to the inaugural session of International Tourism and Hospitality Conference 2023, organized by NSHM Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management in association with Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. On behalf of the Advisory Committee and organizers of ITHC, I express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Consul General from Royal Thai Consulate, Honorable Consul from Republic of Maldives Consulate, eminent keynote speaker from the industry and various universities, teachers and professors from Referral Institute, the student and the leadership team of NSHM Knowledge Campus for being here today, leaving behind your scheduled work. Over the past 2 difficult years, our hospitality and tourism industry have remained incredibly resilient. We as a hospitality and tourism professional were born to be open, to welcome, to showcase, to connect and to breathe distances. But the pandemic caused us instead to close such our doors and distance. It went against the very grain of our DNA as a tourism and hospitality practitioner and against the very purpose of our joining the tourism and hospitality industry. Fortunately, when I assess the present scenario post-pandemic, by no means we are quite out of the woods. We have emerged stronger because we know how to swim in rough waters. We have the tools, the attitude and willingness and know-how. Now we need to exercise our instinct, our professional talents and our sustainable inclinations to come up with offerings and products to once again mesmerize the world and then welcome the tourists and travelers back to the exciting destination. The focus veers testimony to the changing paradigm in the tourism and the hospitality industry. Tourism and hospitality used to be characterized by an emphasis on leisure and service to attract customers. While that emphasis is essential to the industry, increasingly the sector is expanding its horizon to serve as an engine for advancing sustainable development across the world and across other sectors. We wholeheartedly welcome this transformation. Let us look at the tourism and hospitality from the economic, social, and environmental dimensions, that is, from the lens of sustainable development. In economic terms, tourism and hospitality has become one of the fastest growing sector of our times. The global tourism and hospitality sector has played an increasingly critical role in spurring growth, reducing poverty, creating jobs, and generating incomes. This trend will continue. World tourism is on track to experience sustained growth in the coming years, reaching 1.8 billion international tourist arrival in 2030, up from 1.2 billion in 2015, according to UNWTO. In many countries, tourism and hospitality is also becoming a driving force for social inclusion, benefiting youth and women, small and medium-sized enterprises, local communities and rural populations. In this sense, tourism and hospitality is generating significant multiplier effects on social inclusion and economic empowerment. Across the globe, the tourism and hospitality sector has become a critical pillar within national development planning and policies. Therefore, though this forum illuminated by an immensely knowledgeable speaker from the industry and academia, let us try to rediscover the mammoth potential of tourism and hospitality by discussing the contemporary issues, global trends, and sustainable development of the sector. Thank you all and wish you a very enriched journey over the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. It is my privilege now to request our guest of honor, Mr. Ramakrishna Jaiswal, Honorable Consul, Republic of Maldives, Kolkata, to grace the occasion with his invaluable words. He is a motivational speaker, global peace promoter, environmentalist, a philanthropist, working for underprivileged children, and a visionary. A warm welcome to you, sir.
The distinguished dignitaries on the dais, the organizing committee of this August program, the August audience here, the faculty members of NSHM, and of course the students that I can see. I guess the suited ones with the tie there and the black suits are all students. All the students. Yes. So I take this opportunity to express my heartiest warm greetings to all of you and my salam. And it is indeed great pleasure on my part to attend this prestigious platform, this program, in my official capacity as the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Maldives in Kolkata, West Bengal. I'm not going to deliver a speech out of a piece of paper because I believe it has to come out when you're talking about hospitality and tourism. It has to come out from the heart. When I believe this is my personal view that we are in the best of our capacity to perform when we are in tourism. But that is the time we don't work. But during COVID, as in Maldives, we must be aware during the peak time of COVID, which was actually a very, very challenging period for every one of us. We were sharing the air bubble between both the nations, India and Maldives, and there was a new word that was enunciated in that time, and that was workation. So it was vacation where you were working. There were a lot of eminent people who used to travel to Maldives with a hotel reservation and booking for 6 months and more. They were staying there in luxury resorts and they were actually performing. So I believe, tourism actually has to maybe planned by the brain, because there is economics involved. You have to see your capacity in a positive note, I'm saying, and then we plan out. And then, of course, when you go there, it is all about the heart. So when we talk about this topic of hospitality and tourism, we all have to understand the fact that these are seamlessly integrated. When we talk about hospitality, this has been the pivotal culture all over the world to ever respect and welcome to the guests. So I personally believe education plays a very, very important role when we talk about hospitality. Although hospitality again is all by the heart, when you have a guest at your residence, even if you're offering a glass of water, that also with a good emotion is a great hospitality. And at the same time, you may be offering, although I don't drink, but if you're offering a glass of champagne with a raw mood, it doesn't make any sense. So hospitality is always about the heart. And since you guys, many of you must be from the hospitality management and hotel management part of this NSHM. So let me tell you, the best fabric of world-class hospitality actually is very simple. It is a smile. When you welcome a guest with a note of smile, when you're in a hospitality sector, just remember one thing. It may sound a little blunt, but you guys are youngsters, it doesn't make any meaning whether you're carrying whatever stress or a pain in the leg or whatever. If you have a guest and you're in a hospitality sector, you have to welcome the guest with a smile. When you're handling a guest, you're representing your organization. Like as of now here, when you're representing your NSHM. I'm representing the country called Maldives. So the point here is tourism and hospitality go integrated, supported by education. And I further believe tourism plays a very pivotal role, a very focal facilitation role when it comes to economic development. Whether you talk about a city or a state or a nation, like as per for Maldives, if I can assert here, we won the world's leading destination award at the prestigious World Travel Awards for 3 consecutive years. It's a great achievement, achieving a world's leading destination for 3 consecutive years. We got it for 2020, 2021, and 2022. And I personally believe any city, any destination, any country, tourism, if is inculcated and engendered in the right fashion, it goes beyond the fraternity. You have to understand, when you have, suppose you take a village or a city where very less number of tourists are coming, and suddenly you have a proper support by institutes like NSHM and other educational institutions for grooming and inculcating the children. At the same time, support from the state government and the central government. So tourism not only helps in promotion and progress of that particular hotel or that particular institute, it also leads to engendering the standard of living for the people in that city, the people of that country, you know. Like as of for Maldives, the population we have in Maldives is roughly around 500,000, that is around 5 lakh people. But the number of tourists in the year may go beyond that many times, you know. So we have to understand that when you talk about hospitality and tourism, it is just beyond one institute or beyond one person or one hotel. It is a fabric which has a holistic effect on the whole economy. If you see many of the countries where tourism plays a very, very focal role, particularly for Maldives and even many other countries, where you have millions of travelers every year to go, and it plays a very pivotal role for the economic development of the nation. And when you have economic development of the nation through tourism, then there is this fabric of interconnection and that engendering of, you know, the social connect and the tradition of all the countries or the nationality of people who come. So we have to underline this fact that tourism indeed plays a very, very focal role as far as it comes for the economic development. And I don't know, do we have any time stipulation? Yeah, because you know, sometimes when you call me a motivational speaker, then I forget to look at the watch. So as the Consul of the Republic of Maldives, I also take this opportunity to welcome all of you to visit Maldives. Most of you are, the students of course, are very young, so for tourism now, and when you get hitched, when you get married, maybe honeymoon, you are welcome to Maldives, visit Maldives, and the people on the dais, whoever have not been to Maldives, please connect with me. My contact details, my email and everything is there. The communication details is there on social media also. It will be a great pleasure to welcome you all to visit Maldives for tourism. And as they say, hashtag visit Maldives, hashtag the sunny side of life. And I personally believe, and I go to Maldives personally, I rediscover happiness every time I go. You know, it's like white sand and blue sea, and of course somehow I find the sunshine brighter than any other place in the world. That's why they call it sunny side of life. Now, as a motivational speaker, maybe I can take this opportunity to connect with the youngsters here. Although I personally believe age is just a number, because the friends with whom I spend time are all 65 plus. I am 47. My dad is 72 and my friend is 82. So these are the age fabric I normally meet. So when I speak here, let me just share a short story because I don't want to put it very long. So they were like three friends, you know, let us call them A, B and C. So this young A, Mr. A was, or Miss A, so the person was very fond of a very high-end mobile phone. And suppose we take the name, it's just symbolic. So he was very fond of a very high-end phone, and the moment he completes his educational qualification for a particular strata and he gets his job, so the very first thing he does is he goes to the showroom of this mobile brand and he buys a mobile phone. And it felt as if he is in the seventh heaven and he was enjoying it. He was king of the world and top of the world. This happens, you know, in the young age, we all admire and have aspiration for a thing. But the problem is the moment he stepped out with that phone out of the showroom, his friend Mr. B is coming in a brand new motorcycle. So now suddenly Mr. A is looking sad. I mean, the phone is sane, the dream was sane. For the moment he sees his friend Mr. B in motorcycle, suddenly that same mobile phone is not giving him or her that same kind of charm. And suddenly after that point, Mr. C comes and he's in a luxury car. Now neither the A is happy, nor the B's motorbike is giving him or her the happiness. And you will be surprised, even the person, Mr. C, who was sitting in the luxury car, is not looking happy. Now both of them asked him, I got a mobile, he got a motorcycle, and you are sitting in a luxury vehicle, you don't look happy. He said, no, I don't own it. It is owned by my boss. I'm just parking. So just remember one thing, life is not a rat race. You know, if you think that this is a particular thing that you'll get in your hand and you'll become happy, then you are having a wrong definition of happiness. You know, happiness has nothing to do with this thing or that thing. It is actually all about compassion. You know, if you search on, because we all are very fond of Googling, if you check this word compassion, it's very, very powerful word. If I can afford something, it's not necessary for me to go and buy it, provided if I need it for my utility, then we should buy it. Don't buy it just because you want to, I'm sorry to use this word, just to be flamboyant about it, you know. That was the only reason, because this guy, he bought the mobile phone which he was yearning for several years. But the moment he sees his own friend in a better thing, he's not looking very happy. So life is not a rat race. You know, we all are on our own journey. And remember one thing, success, actually, we must have heard this many times, is not a destination. You're sitting here, this is success. You're reading a book, that is success. You bought something that you like, that is success. You failed in something, remember this. Failure is also part of success. You know, speed breakers on the road is for your own safety. If you learn from your mistakes, if you learn from your failures, then you will be successful. And I'm 47, so I've been speaking on this topic for last around 3 decades. So a lot of people, they have been asking me, Mr. Jaiswal, do you know the secret of happiness? They asked me, what is the secret of happiness? So I told them, you know, 3 decades of learning and understanding and traveling, I can tell you, I know the secret of happiness. Can anybody say what is the secret of happiness? Any of the student? What is the secret of happiness? Anybody? No, smile is just, you watch a comedy show and you can smile. Secret, what is the secret? How will you become happy? Yeah. Remember, you're representing NSHM. If you don't talk, then NSHM is on mute. Yeah. Family, okay? And anybody else? Why only boys? Where is the era of gender equality? Yeah, you can say, you raise your hand. Self-satisfaction. That's a deep word here. And anybody? Compassion. You know, I tell you, after 3 decades of learning and understanding, these words are pivotal. These are part of happiness. The only secret to happiness, I repeat, the only secret to happiness is that there is no secret to happiness. If your perception is right, whatever you have is going to give you joy. If your perception is wrong, believe me, you can have best of the things of the world, but you'll still be yearning and shouting for things that others have. If your perception is right, then only you will be happy with whatever possibilities, with whatever limitations, with whatever challenges. If your perception towards life, if your perception towards things is beyond comparison and you are above the race called rat race, then only you'll be happy. Otherwise, I have so many friends, I should not take names on this dais. He owns a private jet, but I have never seen him happy. Once I was there in one of the country, we were meeting at the airport, and he had a very costly vehicle. I told him, you know, you are looking sad, but your chauffeur is enjoying your vehicle. So it is just perception. If your perception is right, you will be happy. If your perception is wrong, you have to do a little bit more of Googling. So thank you very much. Take care and see you all in comments.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jaiswal, for your much motivational speech. I think students have really enjoyed that. And Thank you also for inviting all of us to Maldives.
There is a difference in off the record. If I invite all of you to movie, I have to recheck the bank balance. So I can welcome you.
Well, it's a pleasure indeed. About your welcoming, but you also should be happy to know that we have a host of alumni who are either working in Maldives in various five-star hotels as executive chefs or chefs, or in the F&B service, and we have students from the tourism department who have opened up their own agencies and companies who are operating in Maldives. Thank you, sir.
May I now request our special guest, Dr. Vibhash Chandra Jha, Professor, Department of Geography, Vishwabharat University, to say a few words. Sir, please.
Good morning to everybody. Distinguished guests on the dais and audience, dear friends and students. Any educational institute is only for students. We are, as a teacher, to just guide them, educate them. It is the stakeholders' duty to adopt it and to spread it across the world. As rightly said, Mr. Deswal, education, really if you see, it gives us, it makes us developed, sharp, and global. Any discipline you study, tourism, hospitality, physics, chemistry, each and every subject has got two basic aspects. The pure aspect of the subject and the applied aspect of the subject. The pure aspect of the subject, the tourism, as now you are studying. Tourism and hospitality. If you go through the pure aspect of this subject, how this subject is getting developed, what are the fundamental aspects of this subject, how you can develop your hypothesis, how you can develop your concept, how you can develop your theory, and how you can develop the law. So ultimate research will turn into law, and that is the main target of any student of this institution, NSHM, which has got a bright responsibility across the world to spread the tourism and hospitality. The pure aspect, as it is the basic task of the teachers of the organizers. Applied aspect, that is technology. No discipline can survive without adopting new strategy and technology. It applies to your tourism also. Tourism and hospitality. The application of your knowledge. Ultimately, for what purpose we are studying? We have to have the employment. How much generation of employment is in our discipline, and how best we can use our knowledge of the discipline for helping the society. Ultimately, our task is to help the society. Each and every last person of the society. Tourism was luxurious earlier, but now it is essential. Tourism was luxurious earlier, but now it is essential. And it is the basic task of the tourism and hospitality institutes like NSHM, Calcutta Center, I realized the campus. I have seen so many higher education institutions institutes in India. Most of the institutes are now having the tourism and travel management, tourism and hospitality management. And just you can imagine how much you are getting enriched in the knowledge of tourism and developing the entire world. So role of tourism is having very bright future. The role of the students of this particular discipline has got very bright future, and technology you have to adopt, because in 21st century it is the only requirement where you can use your knowledge for providing the society benefits. So how society will be benefited, that will be the main task. Nowadays we are talking about the geospatial technology. That is very important and prime task of any discipline, and its application you can see in tourism, how we are now using it for preparation of maps, selection of sites, and spreading the details of each and every component of the tourism. So it has become very important component of that. So whenever we formulate our course curricula, that time we have to keep in mind, we have to update our discipline, then only we can go forward in this particular. Tourism students are always under the scanner. Dr. Jaswal rightly said, smile. You are under the scanner always. The moment you enter to any job point, you are under scanner. Public is scanning you, and your smiling is giving benefit not only to you, to your organization, to your institution, and ultimately to the nation and the world. So with these words, I congratulate the organizers for organizing such a good team conference here, and it is the youth, it is the young population in India, more than 35% population, total population, they have to learn it and they have to spread, then only a message will go across the world of the peace and self-reliance. We are talking about the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that will be the main task. I will be discussing more in our keynote address. So with these words, once again, I give you good wishes for this particular conference, and again congratulate to the organizers for a grand success of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your invaluable words and how we can update our technology, not only the students, but the teachers also. This is required. Thanks for this information, sir. Next, I take the privilege to invite our special guest, Dr. Sharda Ghosh, Principal ITHC Bhubaneswar, to address this opening ceremony with a few words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all the dignitaries, all the days, faculty and staff of NSHM Knowledge Campus, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It gives me immense pleasure to be here with a feeling of nostalgia, because I've been to this campus quite often while working at DSMS, and I extend my gratitude to Mr. Ray and Dr. Millen for having me here today. I can see that there are a lot of students here, so maybe I'll restrict my speech to the benefit of the students today, as we all are here, in the institute, probably for the first time after the COVID and having a conference like this, and we are looking at the hospitality education coming back into the system as it was. And with the National Education Policy 2020, I think we're going to see a remarkable change in the curriculum of the hospitality education in the years to come. The changes would be that we would be, having multiple entry and exit options, which means that if I want to opt out after my first year, I have the, privilege of doing that, and even the industry would be open to take us after 1 year of hospitality education. The credits that you will earn in this particular 1 year would be actually stored in the credit bank, and you will come back to rejoin once again once your situation improves, or you start liking the course. The other remarkable change would be that the entire curriculum would be in the modular system, which means that it's going to be in very short capsules and you can take it at your own pace. Most of the courses which are going to be offered would be a hybrid mode, which means that you would be actually taking some classes in the institute, and certain courses you will take it online and complete it, which would be in terms of electives. The third change would be that you would be actually learning more about the business of hospitality industry rather than the operations part, because we want that each student who is actually going through this course of either 3 years or 4 years of hospitality should be able to manage a hotel in the next 2-3 years. So the focus would be more on the management aspects rather than the operations. Today, when we look at the industry after the pandemic, I think we are in a very, very comfortable position. All those students who are doing this particular course, there's no reason to despair, because the hotels are, back, and the tourists are moving, business is on. So there should be a lot of opportunities, whether it is in the 5-star hotel segment, or in the tourist segment, or tourism segment, or it could be also in the startups. My advice to all the students present here would be that try and get yourself engaged in a sector which can actually give you a lot of happiness. Mr. Jaiswal was talking about happiness. I'll just give you an example. I had a student, who was working in Ananda. I think most of you have heard about that hotel. She just left a couple of months back, and she's joined a farm which is called a goat farm in Uttarakhand. And she's very, very satisfied about it, because the reason is that she's actually able to experience real India. That's where the real India actually is. And we all have to, get the feel of being an Indian and trying to give the tourists the experience of the true Indian culture. No doubt that 5-star hotel experience definitely gives you that kind of foundation, so that you could actually go anywhere in the world. But I would also urge you to look at these kind of jobs also, which will not only make you happy in terms of your pocket, but also in terms of your heart. Coming to the institutes which are offering these courses, I am heading IHM Bhubaneswar, which is one of the 21 central institutes under Ministry of Tourism Government of India. And from this year, we would be adopting the new education policy, and the council has just signed an MOU with Jawaharlal Nehru University. So the students will be passing out after 3 years, which is going to be a basic course. They will be actually getting a degree from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Those who would like to stay back for the 4th year would be actually graduating with the BSc in honors. Again, the degree is going to be awarded by Jawaharlal Nehru University. We are celebrating our 50 years this year, and I welcome and invite all of you to come and be a part
We are present in 40 cities in India, and we are also present cities. Hopefully, in we will be present in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal in next 3 months' time. We will need 10 city managers this year. In fact, next month we'll be recruiting 10 city managers to take care of the sales. And in fact, I'm talking to Deepnath if he can help me to connect me to some of your ex-students who have passed out from the institute for this year. So I'm not going to be talking much because I have a proper speech. After this, I will talk about a detailed paper and we'll discuss that then. But what's important for you students today is to learn, develop your networking, understand what the different speakers have to offer, learn what is there for you to develop yourself, not necessarily that when you do hotel management, you get into hotels or you get into food services. There are different avenues. Don't get stuck to four departments. Come out of it. Get into departments like HR and finance, get into sales marketing, get into supply chain. Don't just stick to those four core competences. Otherwise, not necessarily that you're going to be happy. I must give you an example. In 95, when we passed out, we were 120 of the batch. There were just 20 in 2 years who were stayed back, and 100 people moved out of the industry in first. So I'm still in the industry. Thankfully, I've risen the ladder, and hence I got loved what I did. But for you, you need to love what you would be doing. It's a lot of glamour when you get into the industry. You know, 5-star hotels, tourism. You see just the very, very bright part of the industry. But there's a lot of hard work which happens in the industry. And you are the ones who will be doing it and not anybody else. You're the ones who will be supporting your teammates, your superiors, seniors, managers, and you're the one who will be establishing standards and also helping the industry to set up new benchmarks. India is on the verge of shining, and I'm very, very sure if all of us stick together, help each other, and collectively help the organizations and the cities and the states and country, we will be shining. Let's talk about that further. I'm thankful to all of you once again for listening to me, and I'm going to be talking about my speech maybe soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Nitin, for your gracious speech. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to an end of the opening ceremony for the first day of ITHC 2023. It was such an encouraging, enriching, and engrossing session for all of us. I humbly extend my sincere gratitude to all dignitaries on the stage for your invaluable words, which has been such enlightening for the audience. I now leave the stage to Dr. Prashanjit Ghosh, Associate Professor, NSHM Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, to deliver the vote of thanks for the opening ceremony. So please.
Suprabhat. As we all know, an united mind is the most powerful weapon on the art. And this is God through education and programs under it. A very good morning, respected dignitaries, on the dais, off the dais, delegates, professors, presenters, and dear students. On behalf of the Organizing Committee of ITHC 2023, give it a great honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver vote of thanks. At first, I would like to thank our respected guests of honor and chief guests, speakers, other honorable dignitaries, and delegates for managing their valuable time from their busy schedule and come here to praise the conference. We would like to sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Madam Acharapan, Consul General of Thailand. We would like to sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Sri ITHC, Consul of Maldives. We would like to our sincere thanks to our special guest, Professor Dr. D.C. Jha, Professor, Department of Geography, the University, the Vishwanath University, for his really inspiring speech. We would like to our sincere thanks to our special guest, Madam Santa Ghosh, Principal ITHM Bhubaneswar, for coming all the way from Bhubaneswar, and Madam, for your encouraging words for the participants and young minds. We would like to sincere thanks to the special guest, Dr. Nitin Nagar, CEO, Quality NZ New Zealand, for giving us his quality time from the planning stage of ITHC. And also thank you, sir, for your very inspiring speech. I think students and participants are waiting eagerly to listen all the dignitaries during the keynote session. Also would like to thank Sri Ashish Gauri, GM, Fortune Puspanjali, for his immense support from the beginning to organize this event here. We would like to thank Incredible India, Ministry of Tourism, for being the part of the conference. It is obviously a lifetime cherishable opportunity which cannot be forgotten by any one of us. We would like to thank Sri Arnav Rai, CEO and founder of NSHM Knowledge Campus, for your continuous support to organize this conference. Also, our sincere thanks to Professor Dr. Anand Saraswati, Director, NSHM Knowledge Campus Durgapur Group of Institutions, and our mentor, Professor Dr. Abhinav, Principal, NSHM Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management and NSHM College of Management and Technology, for continuous and kind support and encouraging words. And also, sir, today morning you have shared nice statistics to the participants as well as our students. Our sincere thanks to all the sponsors of ITHC 2023. Already, Vikram sir and Will sir has told there is Ministry of Tourism, SAIL, CII, Hotel Rendro, Skal International, ITO, Sula, and hospitality partner definitely, that is Fortune Puspanjali. We strongly believe during the 2 days of ITHC 2023, the esteemed speakers valuable words to the young professionals, researchers, participants, students, and the presenters will be enriching and fulfilling. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Dr. Roshanjeet. Before we end the inaugural session of ITHC 2023, I officially now announce the launch of the e-version of the conference proceedings of ITHC 2023. This version is available online and we'll be sending the link to all the dignitaries, delegates, participants, and the press. That's it. Please, may we put our hands together for the launch of the e-proceedings. Thank you all. Another important announcement. We have been waiting for one of our guests of honor, Ms. Acharapa, who is the Consul General of Royal Thai Consulate, Kolkata. And it's our privilege to announce that she'll be arriving in another 15 minutes of time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to proceed for a small tea break for about 15 minutes, post which we'll resume with a session, a much awaited session of keynote speeches. 10 minutes. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Thank you all. Thank you. Break.